This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Do you take this woman as your lawful wedded wife?
Ooh, yeah! Oh, no.
Place the ring on her finger and repeat after me. With this ring, I thee wed.
Hello and welcome to With This Ring, episode 34, Shawn Michaels Part 2. I'm your co-host Ryan Everett.
I'm your co-host Cindy Everett.
And today we will continue our look at the back half of Shawn Michaels' career. So when we last left the Heartbreak Kid, he had just had a casket match against The Undertaker.
Yeah, that was the one where it set on fire, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. At the end, Kane kills his brother again.
Yes,
Obviously. I think that's Undertaker's second death, canonically.
Oh. How many times has he had? How many times has he had total?
Well, about 4 or 5.
Okay.
Kind of depends. Sometimes it wasn't a full death. You know, sometimes it looked like he was dead, but then he came
Implied
back.
death. Well, like that one was an implied death, right? Because
Well, I mean, he burned to death. But
he is. No.
in 1994, he ascended to the heavens.
Oh, wow. Great. Well,
Yeah.
This isn't about The Undertaker.
No, because
But
The Undertaker
also-
was... He's too complicated. It would take like 4 months and a lot of bad matches.
Yeah. No, we're talking about someone else who believed in someone who rose to the heavens.
Exactly, yes. So, Shawn Michaels... So after that match, the next match he wrestled was the match we watched for Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14.
Okay.
And that match, like, it's always been said, like, it's not really a disappointment. It's just, it's two guys that are not at their height anymore. Because they had a match a year earlier on pay-per-view that was a lot better, but there was just no finish to it. Like, it was because they just booked themselves that way. But, like, this, obviously, the finish, no matter who he was wrestling at WrestleMania 14, the finish was going to be Steve Austin hitting the stunner and winning the world title.
Right.
Like, that was... Originally, it was going to be Bret Hart, but then screwjobs happened.
Yeah.
But, like, it was from, like, I would say WrestleMania 13, it was decided, like, it doesn't matter who is the world champion. WrestleMania 14 is going to be the ascent of Steve Austin.
Okay.
So they have that match, and there's rumors, like, Shawn Michaels wasn't going to do the match, and The Undertaker was standing in, like, the gorilla position right in front, right behind the entrance, and, like, tightening his gloves and stuff.
Ready to go?
Like,
wow.
Ready to beat the shit out of Shawn Michaels. And, like, for a while, everyone thought that was just, like, you know, wrestler bullshit, but then it's come out that, yeah, both of them have, like...
Wait, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, you said?
Well, The Undertaker was worried that Shawn Michaels was going to pull, like, a fit and be like, I'm not jobbing Steve Austin.
Oh.
So he was, like, walking around backstage with his, like, gloves on, like,
ready to fight.
If you don't go out there, you're going to fight me.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's dramatic.
Yep.
Take it easy on the drinks. You gotta stay lucid.
I'm good. So then Shawn Michaels gets knocked out by Mike Tyson, and he goes away for, at that time, like 4 months. He comes back, does a little commentating.
Okay.
And then in November of 98, he becomes the commissioner for, like, ends up being about a year and a half. Because he gets fired a few times, but he didn't read the fine print. That was a big thing in the Attitude Era. The fine print of contracts.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because you didn't read the fine print, no one can fire me.
Right.
So.
That's how all good contracts are.
Yes, that's how most of them are. I mean.
Straight down to the size.
That usually, at least one of the parties has to cut the other person open and sign it in their blood.
Ooh, jeez,
that's
really?
Just, well, it's happened a few times. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, you know, make it official.
Yeah, that's like... Yeah,
double stamp.
Yeah, jeez.
But then, Shawn Michaels, he's like, okay, usually I'm pairing, but not really, like, you can't wrestle, so He opens his
Why can't he wrestle? His back?
His back is
Right,
he needed back fusion surgery
Gotcha.
in like January of '99, I think is when he got it.
Okay.
So he's like appearing like once every few months on TV, and then he also opened up the wrestling school in San Antonio, and I would say his most famous alumni would be Daniel Bryan Danielson.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that's a pretty
good get. Yeah.
that's a pretty good get. Supposedly it was more like it was his name's academy, but there was like two other guys who did like most of it. Like he'd show up every once in a while, but it wasn't like
intimately involved with
right.
it. Okay.
But so yeah, so he's doing that, and then in 2001, it's like slated that he's gonna come back to actually wrestle, but he shows up at the Raw in 2001, right before WrestleMania 17, where like 2 days before the show happened, the WWE bought WCW.
Oh.
So that had to be written into the show, and Shawn's part had to be written off.
Ah.
And Shawn then the next day for SmackDown showed up in the infamous no condition to perform.
Okay.
So stoned out of his mind, and even like Triple H, like his best friend, was like, "No, you're an embarrassment. You have to go home." So he goes home and he finds Jesus.
Okay.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Okay. All right. So that's 2001 when that happened.
2001 into 2002, but like by end of 2001, he was like showing up on shows and stuff, and
Was in good shape.
was actually lucid, and
That's good. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, he was one of the guys that was like, he's gonna be one of these guys that dies at 38 because like took 85 somas for like muscle relaxers.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And wash it down with a bottle of Jack Daniels or whatever.
That's not good.
No, not recommended. The With This Ring officially does not endorse
Okay.
85 painkillers and alcohol. So then Shawn Michaels comes back in 2002, and he is entered into a feud right away with Triple H.
It's nice, kind of easing back on his friend.
because he wasn't sure if he was actually going to wrestle, but he was like, if there's one person I trust, it's him.
Yeah.
So, and they have quite the garbage brawl.
Yeah, so my notes not a sanctioned match.
Right.
First match back, it's just like late Attitude Era vibes. There's the trash cans and like the chair and the stairs, the table, like everything was used. Late Attitude Era vibes, but it ended up being a good match. I think we watched it at the time. You said people were kind of we're not really sure how he was going to do.
Right.
But
yeah. It was kind of like unclear.
He did his jump up move, and everyone got very excited.
The nip up, yes.
Nip up?
The nip up.
Why's it called a nip up?
Oh. Or the kip? No, it's the kip up.
That makes sense.
Kip up.
Okay.
Kip up.
Right.
Yeah. So people weren't sure. Like, is this a one-time thing? Is he going to be like, a special attraction guy where he'll wrestle like once or twice a year? And
Brock Lesnar.
Right. Yeah. But then the next WrestleMania, he's wrestling against Chris Jericho. And this is kind of where he turns into being like a full-time guy again. Like after this match, he's on Raw the next night and he's involved in everything. So
gotcha.
Yeah, but
so who decided that on the green light to make him a regular?
I think it was kind of like a combination of like him thinking that he wanted to do it and could do it again, and just they're not going to turn down full-time Shawn Michaels, so
right.
It was probably more him saying,
yeah,
I'm ready to do everything.
Yeah, I mean that 2002 match, he went off the top rope into the table, he kind of did all the big moves. He had a 2003 Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. So he had lots of back and forth, evenly matched. Oh yeah, this is just finisher after finisher after finisher.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what this looked like, but I wrote, Shawn Michaels wins by doing a weird move where he basically sits on him. Yeah, it was he does the rolling clutch pin. It was always a big in the wrestling video games, you had a front special and a back special. A lot of guys don't really have back specials, but if you're a littler guy, that was always the default like a roll up victory roll. Yeah. So that was an odd thing, but Shawn Michaels wins, so they obviously have confidence in him.
Yeah, I think at first when this happened, I remember a lot of the internet writers who we're always big fans of Chris Jericho, like kind of outsized to.
Really?
Yeah, like more than they. I mean, he was good, but like they kind of held him up to be like the guy. So like they were like, oh, this is horrible. Chris Jericho's going to stick around. Shawn Michaels is going out right away, and like.
Well, they're about Chris Jericho sticking around because he's still kicking.
Yeah, but like actually, he would leave the WWF before Shawn Michaels. Like he leaves it in like 2 years for like 3. Like he has like hiatuses. Okay. And Shawn Michaels really from 2003 sticks around until 2010.
Wow.
For the most, I mean, like little breaks here and there for injuries, but not. So yeah, so he's back full time.
Yeah.
And I also my favorite part of the whole match though was at the end when Chris Jericho Shawn Michaels is offering his hand, and Chris Jericho has to hug his idol Shawn Michaels, and then backs up and just kicks him in the nuts.
Yeah.
Easily the best part of the match.
Well, you didn't like this one?
No, I like it. I'm just saying that part's the most. Yeah. No, it's a great match, I think.
Just the cherry on top is seeing him get kicked in the nuts. Fair enough.
And then, so he's back like full time, and he gets, eventually, as always, he gets back to Triple H.
I guess we watched 2 of those, but was that like a common thing?
Yeah, and like, we watched the two best of them.
Okay.
A lot of them got into like we're going to have a match, it's going to be a 50-minute classic. And it's just not like it's too masturbatory. Like,
gotcha.
Every spot, picking out of every finisher.
A little too self-aware.
Yeah. So this though, like being on Raw, I think kind of constrained them to like.
Yeah.
You can't have a 45-minute match. Like this isn't long for Raw. It's like 25 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it was in San Antonio, so people of course are going nuts for Shawn Michaels.
The hometown.
And Ric Flair was there as Triple H's manager.
Yep.
Got the leverage by holding Ric Flair's
hand. Of course, yeah. That always puts so much more leverage into the figure 4.
Yeah, then Shawn does the figure 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the ref goes down, of course. This is, once again, a lot of, like, chaos.
Yeah.
Like, Eric Bischoff comes out
at some point. So Shawn Michaels hits the super kick and, like, falls on top of Triple H.
Yeah.
And the ref counts to 3, but Shawn Michaels' shoulders were on the ground at the same time. So, technically, it's a draw, and Triple H keeps the title.
Oh, okay. Then this is where you said... Wait, never mind.
No, I think...
Not that everyone had more
story yet. That's next.
Okay. Well, next was in Shelton. So what happened in 2004? No good matches then?
No, he had plenty of good matches, but at WrestleMania 20, the main event is a great match, but it's Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Chris Benoit.
Oh.
And then at the end, Chris Benoit's family comes in to celebrate with him, so it's not... It was like... It's probably like... Like, I could watch Chris Benoit matches, but that's the one, like, I can't even, like... Because it's just like...
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great match, but he's a monster, so...
Yeah, fair enough.
So that was, like, his main thing, and then he was out for a little bit injured.
Okay.
And yeah, just kind of... I mean, he had good matches, but not one of the all-time matches.
Gotcha. Okay, but then we moved to 2000, a lot of 2005 matches. So we watched just
two in this series.
Shelton Benjamin.
Yes, on Raw. So they had this little 8-man tournament going on to determine who would be the number 1 contender. So
Okay.
It was just like the opening round match because, 2 guys just kind of randomly paired up.
Okay.
And Shelton Benjamin was the Intercontinental Champion at the time, so he was like a younger guy on the rise, kind of.
Yeah.
And him and Shawn Michaels just have a banger.
Yeah, it was good.
14-minute, like, back and forth match.
It was super fast-paced. They're both really strong and athletic. This is the end where Shelton Benjamin jumped literally all the way across the ring.
This is probably the best Sweet Chin music ever.
Yeah.
I would vote for this one. Cause,
He wiggled all around.
Because he does the full springboard into the ring and just right into it. Like, Shawn just sticks his leg up and he eats it with his chin. Like, it is
really does.
Literally what the move says.
But,
and
then Shawn wins, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like the next week, I remember. That was like added into the opening credits of Raw. Like, that's a highlight. I think not anymore, but for a while, it was in there for quite a while.
I could see that.
Because, I mean, it just looks awesome.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And this is where you told me to ask you to tell the
Yeah, so Earl Hebner is the referee in this match.
Yes.
He's usually, I can't go think back. Actually, I think he was the referee in all the matches.
You wasn't one in 2003. Yeah, I'm sure he was.
Yeah, I think he was for all of it. Well, he was for most of them. He was always Shawn Michaels' favorite referee.
Oh, okay.
Because, he helped him screw Bret.
Right.
But anyway. So he was always his favorite referee, and then in 2005, it was about a month after the Shelton Benjamin match was May. I think it was in July.
Okay.
Where him and his brother are both Dave Hebner, who is always...
He's also a ref, right?
He was a ref earlier, and then he was, a backstage guy, helping getting things organized and stuff. They both get fired.
Really?
After 18 years.
What happened?
And it turns out they were selling bootleg t-shirts.
That seems like a stupid thing to risk your job.
And, yeah, exactly. And,
they were getting paid enough for WWE?
I mean, they were probably getting paid enough.
They asked you to negotiate your contract and then go with
also, what they were doing, they were, selling bootleg t-shirts and also, mysterious amounts of t-shirts, licensed t-shirts were missing. And all of a sudden they were being sold at this St. Louis, shirt store that they had a controlling interest in. So it was, so both of them got fired. Which was pretty funny, I feel like.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's just, stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? Okay. Well, I hope it was worth it. Those t-shirts are worth it.
Hope they got paid.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's I didn't to that comment. That was going to be something scandalous.
Yeah.
Or something more. That's a pretty low level crime. I mean, it's still.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't they weren't they weren't charged with a crime or anything. It was just you can't sell your shit in our they had people selling shirts in the parking lot. Jeez. And so people figured oh, it's a licensed WWE thing.
Not so much.
Nope, it's out of Earl Hebner's trunk.
Well, all right then. So no more Earl Hebner. So who's the referee for the rest of his matches?
It's usually probably Mike Chioda.
Okay.
He's I think he's the guy who hangs with him the most.
Gotcha.
But our next match has a lot of referees.
Oh yeah, that was a lot. Well, first we watched the promo where he was kind of hyping it up. When he
I think that is probably the best promo of his career.
Okay.
Because the best part about it is with the Bret Hart stuff.
Yeah.
Because
he's in Montreal. Yeah.
It's in Montreal, and literally the week before online.
Oh yeah.
WWE.com broke a story that Bret Hart was in Stanford. They showed pictures of him shaking hands with Vince McMahon. Mm-hmm. They announced they're going to make a DVD. They basically say he's going to go in the Hall of Fame next year, and. So if that hadn't happened, if Raw was the week before that announcement, he wouldn't have. If they would have played Bret Hart's music, no one would have even reacted because they would have known it was a bullshit thing. Because at that point he was still I hate the WWF. I'm never gonna appear there.
But he just signed that.
But now they just signed that. So Montreal's one of the more smart fan,
really?
Internet connected fans. So they had all seen. Or a lot of them had seen that story and knew what was really going on. So when Bret Hart's music hit, everyone was lost their minds. It was one of the loudest pops for a guy who wasn't and nowhere near the building.
Right. Yeah. I thought even my notes oh shit, he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was not.
No.
He was just taunting them. But the match against Hulk Hogan though wasn't in Montreal.
That's
just where he was doing.
Right. That was just where the Raw, the go home Raw was.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and then he does the same thing with Hulk Hogan music, which that was more believable. He was scheduled for a match that night, so I don't know why he wasn't there. Usually they say you have to be there hours before.
Right. Well, I'm pretty sure he was just whenever he wanted. Yeah. So talk to me about Hulk Hogan coming back to WWE. Yeah. Okay.
Well, it started in 2002. Him, Hall, and Nash, the NWO came in. They were brought in by. So Vince McMahon and Ric Flair were the co-owners of WWE at this point.
Obviously.
It's like comic books where it's this universe was this.
Gotcha.
So the universe at this point, Vince McMahon and Ric Flair were co-owners of the WWF.
Sure they were.
Vince couldn't live with Ric Flair being his co-owner, so he wanted to kill the WWF.
Obviously.
The only way we could do that was inject a lethal poison into the WWF, and that would be the NWO.
Oh.
So he brings in the NWO, which is just like the total opposite of the whole idea of the NWO. Being like this outside group, and now the owner of the group is bringing you in.
That's true, yeah.
But eventually, they get to Hulk versus Rock at WrestleMania 18, which we watched, and after that, they were like, okay, everyone still loves Hulk Hogan, so we just have to...
Always,
let's just say fuck it with Hollywood Hogan, just...
Go back to Hulk, yeah.
Just pump gas into the Hulk Hogan 1988, revival, and that's pretty much what they did. And he came, so 2002 he was there most of the year, 2003 he was there a little bit, 2004 he's not there, 2005 he comes back at WrestleMania to be inducted in the Hall of Fame, and beat up Muhammad Hassan, the Arab character.
Obviously.
And then...
as one does.
And yes, and at the Hall of Fame, everyone's chanting one more match, and that's when him and Shawn Michaels team up against Muhammad Hassan and his Arab friend Davari, and of course Hulk Hogan and Shawn Michaels win that match.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, like the two most powered up guys in the WWE universe are able to beat a mid-carder and his manager.
Right. Yes.
Also foreign, so.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There's a lot of reasons why that's not gonna, and also Hulk Hogan.
So then they do another match in July where it's like Shawn Michaels and I think Shawn Michaels, John Cena, and Hulk Hogan against Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, and Christian, I want to say. Okay. And at the end, John Cena runs after Kurt Angle, so it's just Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan in the ring, and they're doing the double pose and stuff. And then Shawn Michaels kicks Hulk Hogan. So it's all like, no, don't do this. No.
What did you think at the time?
It was like, yeah, it sounds like it's a good, that's the good marquee match for a SummerSlam. The title matches this year were Batista versus JBL, and it would have been John Cena versus Chris Jericho. They're both good.
Yeah.
They are both good matches, but as a headliner for SummerSlam, you needed something bigger, and this was a good way to do it, I think. Because a lot of SummerSlams, even when they have two world titles, they'd have something different as their main event.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, before this started, I told you I had low expectations for this match. So
right.
Sometimes old Hogan.
Yeah.
Okay, how good is this going to be? But it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Hogan dominated early. He still moved really well. Shawn made him look good.
Yeah, Shawn does. Some people criticize the match because Shawn over comically sells a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is definitely true, but so originally going into this, the backstage news was that they were going to do a 3-match series.
Oh, okay.
And Hogan was going to win this one, but controversially, Michaels was going to screw him and cheat to win in the second match. Yeah. And then the third match would be a cage match, which Hogan would win cleanly. And then supposedly the day of the show, Hulk Hogan was like, yeah, that doesn't work for me. I want to win clean tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so they were like, okay, and because of that, so Shawn Michaels was like, well, I'm going to show how much better I am. Because, I mean, there's no doubt about that Shawn Michaels carries the match.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he would no matter what, but he kind of almost looks Hulk Hogan look goofy almost.
Yeah.
At points. The way he's overselling it and stuff.
Yeah. But a lot of blood, and then it did sort of drag a little bit in the end, and a lot of refs getting knocked out.
Yeah, a lot of
Oh no, it was fine. Hogan, I wasn't surprised when Hogan won.
Yeah, of course Hogan it ends
it was clean though.
It ends the way most Hogan matches end, with the Hulk up.
Yeah.
And the ridiculous, I think Shawn Michaels falls 4 times on the big boot. He stands up, falls, bounces up. But, and then the big stinky giant killing drop ends it.
As one does. And yeah, then the next match, I didn't expect this opponent.
Yeah, so then actually, right now, we will take a quick break.
Okay, then we'll come back with
we'll come back with the
circus
last
of the match.
4 matches on our show.
All right.
And we'll be back.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program for this special report.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. This past week, the Generation X was informed that TSN, Star TV, Sky Sports, and USA Network is drawing the line on standards and practices as it relates to WWF programming and to Generation X. In the future, we need to be careful of what we do and what we don't do. Again, DX gets in trouble every time we do something gratuitously. Therefore, the following is the standard and practices that DX promises to adhere to.
From the hours of 9 to 10 p.m., we will only use the words ass, damn, and hell. We will, however, never use the words or any other sexual or racial slurs. From the 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. hour, we will only use the words ass, damn, hell, and we will, however, never use the words or any other racial or sexual slurs. Now, as it pertains to video, we promise there will be less references.
Oh,
Hey, watch your mouth.
me.
Damn it. We will have less references to our enormous genitalia.
And on a final note, even though many of you believe that currently the favorite pastime in the oral office is swallow the leader, I did not. I repeat, I did not sleep with that young intern. As a matter of fact, I was up all night.
And we are back, and now we are in 2006, and this started.
This is
treat. Quite the storyline.
I had not seen this match before. It was very funny.
So, like the last Raw of 2005, they were hyping the Bret Hart DVD that had just come out, and Vince McMahon comes out to the the ring at the end of the show and is like, "I'm not talking about this great DVD, and I want to bring out my partner in crime, Shawn Michaels. Come on, Shawn." And Shawn comes out and is like, "Vince, you gotta grow up, stop."
Yeah.
Talking about this all the time. So from then on, he's a Mark McMahon and Vince McMahon eyes because he dared to talk across to him.
But that was all kayfabe, though.
Oh, yeah. It was all part of the angle.
Gotcha.
So they build up a feud for 3 months.
That's a while.
They give it a time. Shane McMahon comes out in the Royal Rumble and throws Shawn Michaels out due to a Vince McMahon interference. So yeah, it's a well-built feud. It involved Marty Jannetty coming back and having to join the
Rock and Roll Express?
No, well, the Rockers.
The Rockers, that's
But, he has to join the exclusive Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club.
Oh, yes, of course.
Which, during the match, it's one of the stupidest things ever. But Vince pulls down his pants to have, because Shane is in control, and he wants Shane to shove Shawn Michaels' face in his ass because Vince McMahon likes doing that.
That's so weird. And
Shawn Michaels hits Shane and puts Shane's head in his ass.
Wait, that happened before?
No, it's in this match.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I thought they were still talking about the lead up.
No, sorry.
Oh, no, this match, that's right to the middle. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot. Well, but that's
there was the poster.
Yes, well, yeah.
Yeah, what was that with that poster?
So earlier that month, the Muscle and Fitness or whatever, Muscle Mag, whatever it was, Vince McMahon was on the cover, like, look at what a 64-year-old or whatever he was at that point can look like.
Yeah. Gross. Is what
and then we also had the classic promo beforehand where the McMahon family prays.
That's right.
And then it starts with, God, I don't like you, and you like me.
Yes, classic. But yeah, there was like the poster, which is pretty funny.
Yes.
Then the Spirit
The Spirit Squad, yes. The cheerleaders come out.
What was that deal with that group?
So they were like just 5 male cheerleaders. Dolph Ziggler was Mickey. And Kenny actually got a push like once it was just kind of like, they didn't know how true they wanted to be with, like how much they wanted to push him, I think, kind of like. They gave him tag titles for like 6 months.
Really?
But like they kind of did it where like it could be any 2 members that they wanted to defend it, like.
Interesting.
So they kind of did that for a while, but yeah, they were. I think they didn't know what they knew they couldn't get any higher than they were, so they kind of. It was set to.
Filler.
It kind of had like a limit, and it did. Like after 6 months, they kind of trashed it.
Yeah, Shawn hits them all with their megaphones.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Shane comes out and like gets
with his Singapore cane, right?
That's That's right. And then, he eventually gets handcuffed to the ring, but first, Shawn has to
shoves
Shane's
face
in
in
Vince's butt, and like Vince is like really
Vince is kind of
yeah, and then like Shawn and Shane get confused, but I know who they are, but like right. Names. So Shane gets handcuffed,
right, and it just has to watch Vince get caned in the ass.
Yeah, but then Shawn goes off the giant ladder. That was crazy.
Well, he kept first he just puts that on the table.
Yeah.
Then he gets a ladder.
Okay. And
then he gets a garbage can, puts it on Vince McMahon. Then he gets a bigger ladder.
Like so over the top. It was like a parody of a match.
Yes, exactly. Which is what Vince McMahon matches usually are. And
sure, right.
It's kind of why they're awesome. Like they're like, it's pro wrestling. We're gonna pro wrestle it as much as possible.
Yeah, we're really gonna lean into it. So. Yeah, like the whole gimmicky entertainment part of sports entertainment.
Right, yeah, it's very wrestle.
A lot of stuff, but it was funny. It was entertaining. I wasn't aware of that match, so
yeah,
it was a
nice, pleasant surprise. Yeah, I was at that WrestleMania. It was pretty good. I remember one of the best parts of it was definitely as Vince McMahon is being stretchered off, he gives the finger. That got a huge pop from the crowd, I remember. Everything did. Yeah. But that was just the best.
Yeah, that's good. And then we move to 2007.
So 2007. So at WrestleMania 23, it's Shawn Michaels versus John Cena. In the final match of the show, they have a great 30-minute match. And just in the end, John Cena wins. And at the time, they were both tag champions. They were tag champs also because that's a thing you do sometimes.
I wrote my notes. Shawn Michaels won this one. John Cena?
No, I'm talking about the match before.
Oh, before. Okay,
so,
I was going to say, I was like, what?
Yeah, so this is 3 weeks after WrestleMania. And it's Iran, England. So it was
That's right, yeah.
It wasn't pre-taped, but it was taped. It aired live in London.
Gotcha, then it aired.
So it was on tape delay.
Yeah.
But so if you read the internet at 3 o'clock or so, it was John Cena and Shawn Michaels have an hour match on Raw tonight. So yeah, it goes. I think it ended up being 55 minutes. The version we watched was about 37, I think.
I was going to say, I didn't think it was 55 minutes.
Well, yeah, because it aired live with commercials.
Gotcha.
So the commercial breaks are. I mean, I'm sure they have them somewhere, but they're lost to time for now.
I don't need to watch the commercial.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I mean, a lot of times when it's a commercial break, it's just a guy in a chin lock because you're not going to exert that much energy.
Right. Yeah, is this one? What did I write about this one? This is just really very beefy John Cena.
Yes, this is John Cena probably at his puffiest.
Yeah, he was puffy. So Shawn's definitely quicker, and a lot of 2 counts, lots of grappling. I also had in here ask Ryan about story of passionate John Cena fan.
Oh yeah, so at WrestleMania, I was at WrestleMania 23.
Okay.
And we were high up. We weren't. I mean, we were in the highest
Right.
The lowest price bracket.
Yeah.
So it was pretty high up, but I mean, it wasn't horrible seats.
Where was it again?
Ford Field.
Oh, the one in Detroit.
Detroit, yeah.
Okay, that's right.
So, like, it was during not a wrestle, but Shawn Michaels had, like, a sleeper on John Cena or something. So Shawn Michaels was in control. This guy, like, 3 rows in front of us, full John Cena, camo hat, shirt that had just come out that day. So he had put this on in the lobby of Ford Field. Camo shorts, pump up gym shoes, I'm sure. The chain gang around the neck. He's like, yo, where's my chain gang soldiers? Let's go, Cena! And, like, 3 people threw, like, hot dog wrappers at him. We were a very pro Shawn Michaels section.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, yeah, suck it! Like, this guy was... He didn't read his section well. He didn't listen to the pre-match introductions and who was cheering for who.
Well, he was already, like, gung-ho about him anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to cheer
it's pretty funny.
His way no matter what. But he did not have his chain gang soldiers behind him.
Nope.
As he anticipated.
It was like, boo.
So then 3 weeks later...
And Shawn Michaels did win that match, yes.
Yes. Shawn Michaels wins the Raw match.
Yes.
Right. Because John Cena wins at WrestleMania. 3 weeks later, they have a match on Raw, and it's a non-title match. It's like the big thing. Shawn Michaels just wants to prove that he's the better man still.
Okay.
Because then they were wrestling in a 4-way the next week at the pay-per-view.
Gotcha.
It was Shawn Michaels versus John Cena versus Edge versus Orton. And the cool thing about this, like, we didn't really go through this process watching the whole show, but they advertised Cena versus Michaels and Edge versus Orton.
Separately?
Yeah, like there's 2 separate matches that were scheduled to take place. And Edge in his promo was even like, can't wait to see John Cena and Shawn Michaels just kill each other before our match on Sunday. And I'm going to take Randy Orton out of our match before we even get to it. So they like made it seem like there's going to be at least 2 more matches on the show.
Okay.
But this match runs long. So it's kind of like if you were just watching, you're like, all right, so there's 2 matches left.
Gotcha.
So this match, maybe it'll go 25 minutes if it's going to go like long, but you don't think it's going to erase the other match.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and Shawn Michaels wins clean with Sweet Chin Music. And it's probably like, in like a 6-year span, it's probably like one of 3 clean John Cena jobs.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I'm trying to, like, every other, like, he'd lose, like, ladder matches and stuff if he was, like, pushed over, like, actual title losses.
Gotcha. Few and far between.
Right.
Makes sense. So, yeah, then we, so you stayed till 2010, but the last year we went to was 2008.
Right, yeah. So we saw in WrestleMania 24, which is in 2008.
Yes.
I want to get confused with WrestleMania 28,
28,
which is in 2012.
Yes. Yeah.
But, so yeah, Ric Flair, he was out for a little bit in 2007, and then he came back, and I was like, oh, I'm so happy to be back, and Vince McMahon came out and was like, it's good to have you back, Rick, but the next time you lose, you're fired. So, like, for the next 4 months...
I mean, how often did he really wrestle?
Well, he hadn't been wrestling that much, but now they kind of stepped it up, like, him wrestling, like, that night he wrestled Randy Orton, who was the world champ.
Oh, wow.
But he wins by, like, DQ or something, like...
Gotcha.
Yeah, so he just keeps winning, and, like, there's a night where it's him versus Triple H, and it's... If Triple H loses, he can't be in the Royal Rumble. So Triple H has like this, Sophie's Choice, and at the end, like somehow Ric Flair wins, but don't worry, Triple H still gets in the Royal Rumble. I know you're worried.
I was very worried.
Yeah,
Right.
But so he keeps winning all these different matches, and then Shawn Michaels comes out on Raw in like early March of 2008 and announces that Ric Flair's the first inductee into the 2008 Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And then Ric Flair comes out and says, he wants to wrestle the best at WrestleMania, and it's Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be the guy that retires you.
Yeah.
And then Ric Flair gets all pissed off, like, oh, so you're just assuming you beat me?
Yeah.
Like, If I can't beat you, I don't deserve to be wrestling anymore. If I can't beat the best, I don't deserve it. So then they go back and forth, and and then like the week before is a really good promo by Shawn Michaels actually about like Old Yeller, and they love that dog, but eventually at the end you got to take that dog out back and shoot in the head, and like Ric Flair like snapping the promo and like legitimately like drew blood on Shawn Michaels' mouth by slapping him so hard.
Wow.
Like so it was a good build up, and it built up to this match, and it was kind of known like he's gonna lose this match, like.
Shawn Michaels?
No, Ric Flair.
Really?
Yeah, I mean...
Because I thought that was kind of surprising. I thought they would for sure let Ric Flair win.
No, I think... Because, like, the old school ways, you always lose your last match.
Okay.
So, I think he was going to lose, and it's kind of like the Undertaker's streak thing. Gotcha. Like, do you give it to a guy who will be able to build off of it, or do you give it to, like, a young star? Mm-hmm. And I don't think at this time they really had anyone that they... really believed in, or like, because like Randy Orton you could say maybe, but he had already beaten Ric Flair like a bunch before that, so it also had to be someone that hadn't beaten, because for like 4 years beforehand Ric Flair was kind of not a jobber, but not like really presented as a guy who could beat everyone.
Right. Gotcha. So they went with someone with also a little bit of a legacy.
Right. Yeah. So it actually, Shawn Michaels wins.
Yeah, I think this is a good match too. Like the moves, like Shawn Michaels did a phenomenal job. There were so many big moves, like a lot of moves off the ropes,
moonsault. There he breaks the table by himself.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, and at the end he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then he hits him with the sweet chin music.
I love you. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I love you. I'm sorry. So yeah, I guess not having the same context as you. I was surprised they let Shawn Michaels win.
Yeah. But that actually kind of builds into his next storyline where, so the next night they have this like ceremony where like all these people come out and congratulate Ric Flair, and during it Batista's out there because he was with Ric Flair in Evolution and stuff, and then when Shawn Michaels comes out, Batista's giving him the eyes. Oh. So it comes out that Batista's really pissed off at Shawn Michaels for beating Ric Flair and retiring him. So they have a match, and then...
It's like very soap opera-esque.
Oh, very, yeah. So then Chris Jericho starts, like, egging Batista on.
Bless you.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
So Chris Jericho's kind of being, like, he's, like, poking Batista about how Shawn Michaels is always faking injuries and trying to...
Starting shit.
So, yeah, so eventually it turns into more of a Chris Jericho-Shawn Michaels feud. And
Batista just gets kind of swept off the side.
Yeah, he goes away.
Gotcha.
And then Jericho throws Shawn Michaels into the Jeritron 5000, which...
What is that?
The flat screen TV that Chris Jericho has for his interview segments.
Okay, obviously.
So they say Shawn Michaels is going to have to retire due to eye damage. And then at SummerSlam, Shawn Michaels comes out with his wife, and Chris Jericho goes to hit Shawn Michaels, ends up hitting Shawn Michaels' wife.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I already seen part of that.
Yeah, so then Shawn Michaels comes back to wrestle. Apparently his eye's fine now.
Right.
Although this was around the time he got the lazy eye in real life. So
oh, really? Okay. So it kind of works
maybe it works out that way. But, so they have a match, and Shawn Michaels, it's like an unsanctioned match. Shawn Michaels wins it, but then later in the night, Chris Jericho gets added to a world title match and wins the world title.
Oh.
So he got beaten up by Shawn Michaels, but he walks out with the title belt.
Gotcha.
So then they set it up that they're going to have a title match at No Mercy, and it's going to be a ladder match. Okay, Shawn Michaels got to pick the stipulation for some reason.
Yeah, well, why not?
Sure.
Well, no, they both do very well. Good job with ladder matches.
Yep.
So. What I say, they both, a lot of like leverage. Like I don't know, like how to describe it. Like instead of just hitting them, they would kind of like ricochet off a surface.
Yeah,
like a seesaw.
Yeah, they
both did.
It wasn't more like it was less of like moves off the ladder.
That's true.
Of like moves with the ladder,
yes,
kind of.
That's true. And then, who was the guy that ran out and helped Chris Jericho?
That was Lance Cade. He was also a Shawn Michaels Texas Wrestling Academy alum.
Oh, okay.
And he had been around for like a little while as a tag wrestler with like another big Texas guy. Like he was kind of just, that was his gimmick.
Just a big
Texas.
guy from Texas.
Yeah.
Wrestler?
He died like
Wrestler?
2 years after that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like steroid.
Oh. Okay.
Like I don't know exactly what it was, but it was drug related.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Right. Allegedly.
Just to be safe.
Yep.
But no, yeah. So that's.
So yeah, I don't like. I know it's just a clean match, but I don't know why after all these episodes that we've recorded, I should probably accept that like 2/3 of the match we watch are going to have interference.
Yeah,
but
especially
it still kind of annoys me. Like I don't know, I was like very invested in this one. When that guy ran out, I was like, crap.
I mean, it's a later match, so there's no DQ, so the match will continue.
Well, might as well just do whatever you want. So then Jericho wins because Lance Cade or whatever his name was helping him.
Well, I mean, he doesn't really come in the actual finish of the match.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, they're like fighting on top of the ladder and they hit each other with the bell.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, he's involved, but he's not like the reason the match ends.
That's true.
It's not like he's holding Shawn Michaels' leg at the very end.
Yeah, good point. That's still too much for me.
Yeah, so then 2009 is Shawn Michaels. Who does he fight at WrestleMania? Oh, that's the Undertaker match at WrestleMania.
Oh, that's a really good one.
And I was thinking of rewatching that, but we kind of ran out of time at the end, so
we can watch it just because.
Yeah,
that's because it's good.
It's a great. It's like probably a top 5 at worst match in company history. So
yeah, it's
pretty high up there. But then he goes back into DX, which is just horrible at this point.
They were still trying to do Generation X in 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And into 2010. But then in 2010, he gets obsessed with wanting to face The Undertaker again at WrestleMania.
Okay.
And that leads to the retirement match, which we also watched. So, And then that was it for Shawn Michaels. He stayed retired until MSK came a calling in 2018 for the classic Attitude Era Brawl of The Undertaker and Kane versus Shawn Michaels and Triple H DX.
A lot of old people.
Yep.
2018?
Yeah. Kane was a friggin' mayor. They had to
right.
They had to do something weird. They had to make a donation to the Knoxville family campaign or something.
Oh, that's weird.
Really weird. And this was the blood money show where it was right after the journalist had gotten killed.
Oh.
So yeah, it was a messy.
Wait, MSK, you mean MSB?
MSB, yeah.
Okay,
MSK is
the
Mexican gang.
No, okay.
Basically the same.
Yeah. Oh, that must have been very messy.
Yeah.
Yeah, first I didn't really know what you meant, but as you kept talking, I figured it out. So we're not going to watch that one, is what you're saying?
No, it's horrible.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, I mean...
They're all so old and ugh. Yeah.
And Shawn Michaels is the best worker, and he's his first match in
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah, I'm sure they all loved it. I'm sure they got paid.
Oh, they got paid.
A lot of money.
They got all that money.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels will not come out of retirement for WrestleMania, but he'll come out for the Saudi money.
Well, I'm sure it was substantial.
Yes, I'm assuming there was quite a big bag.
Yeah, but he's never wanted to come back and just do a guest spot. Lazy.
No, I mean he's never. It looked like it in 2013. They were kind of hinting a feud with him and Daniel Bryan, but that never came to fruition.
All right, so we have to rank Shawn Michaels again.
Yes. So we didn't really do it the first half because I kind of. Yeah, so we didn't do it the first. So before
I remember we said wait till we do it this time.
Right. So before we even get to the actual, not looking at the rankings themselves, but if we go to just 98, so not counting what we saw here, well, where would you say Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels? How would you rank them?
I've always liked Shawn Michaels better.
Okay.
What about you?
I usually like Shawn Michaels better. This time around, though, I think I like the early stuff with Bret more.
Okay.
But it's kind of, that's the thing, it's their first, Shawn Michaels' first half and Bret Hart's whole career are kind of, there's a lot more for Bret Hart years-wise, but they're comparative. 85 to 97 and 88 to 98. I mean, close enough.
Yeah.
So I kind of preferred Bret Hart over that, but then when it comes to the second half, Shawn Michaels just...
Well, there's nothing to compare it to. And yeah,
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
He did really well for being older. And
yeah, well, that's the thing, though. You think older, but when he came back, he was 37.
Yeah.
So he's not...
But still, that's pretty...
Yeah.
Like, I got what you're saying. Okay.
So, the nuance. So, being able to work as a heel, a face, tag teams, double, a single guy.
We probably mainly just watch singles matches. We don't watch
we watched, the second half, but if you
half.
compare the first half with, he's a good tag team wrestler. I think
that's true. That's true. All right, I'm going to give him a 9.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I gave Bret Hart a 9.5 for that.
Oh.
Where are you trying to go?
There we go. Yeah, I'll go 9 also, I think. Okay. And then jump up, so like big time matches.
Oh, I think 9.5.
9.5?
Can I count the 2009 one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is, it's all inclusive of everything. I'm going to go 9. I'm going to kind of explain that in a little bit where I talk about.
Okay.
And then P is promos, character work.
I don't know. Like, I think I'd give an 8 for that one.
Yeah. I'd go 8 also because he's got like some really good ones.
He's not like a prolific one.
But yeah, and his face promos are bad. Like when he's like world champ and
really?
he's like got his 65-year-old Mexican trainer with him, Jose Lothario. They're not good.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll give him an 8. Actually, I'm gonna go 7.5. His baby face, like wannabe baby face promos. So work rate though. And that's like the actual bell action.
Oh, 9.5.
Yeah. I think I'm going to give him the same.
Yeah. Very, 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 very good wrestler.
Or equal some?
Equal sign. SUM. Sure.
Yep.
Oh, wow. 30, so he's definitely one of my high.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You do The Rock. Oh, Steve Austin's really high for it. Yeah. Okay, so actually, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, you gave them the same.
Yes.
1 point.
1 point more Shawn Michaels.
That's I appreciate that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You will have Steve Austin very high.
So the thing for
you have The Rock above Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I think I'm going to talk about jump up factor.
Okay, let me see.
Because for both of Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, I both gave them 9. They cannot get a 10 in jump up factor, I think, because it's like when they were both like Bret Hart had kind of 93, but definitely 94 was his year. Like he's the main guy. Shawn Michaels has 1996. Mm-hmm. The company was in the shits during those years.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
saying that.
And I'm not saying it was their fault. I mean, they have from 93 through 98. Pretty much anytime you say like, "Oh, it was the best match on the pay-per-view," it's either a Shawn Michaels or a Bret Hart match.
Yeah, that's true.
But just so for whatever reason, the company couldn't get going with them as the head. Really, It was they needed Steve Austin to turn the tide, and the ratings were and stuff. Gotcha. It wasn't happening with the other two. I mean, it was starting to turn with Shawn Michaels at the end, but that was mainly because people were turning in to see what Steve Austin is going to do, not what Shawn Michaels is going to do.
Interesting.
So that's why I think both of them, and that's like in my overall rankings. Last time they were 7 and 8. I think they're going to stay. I think they're going to have to go down, though, both of them. Well, I don't know. Daniel Bryan's tough. I don't know. But they're going to be in this. Like, I don't think any of the guys they have above them should go below Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels.
I like John Cena so much.
Oh, yeah. He's locked in as one of the top of all time.
Well, yeah, I definitely agree with that. But I don't know. I think I'd put Shawn. Well, have we done John Cena yet?
No, I will. That's one thing we gotta figure out. So next month I have Mick Foley.
Okay.
I have that locked in. But then looking at so guys that we haven't looked at, we're gonna look at. I'll tell you, Randy Savage is November.
Okay.
Roman Reigns is December.
Okay.
But for any other guys in the top.
September and October.
Yeah. So who are you? Anyone?
John Cena.
John Cena. Okay. Could fit him in.
But Bruno Sammartino.
The matches aren't that good.
But why do you have him up so high then? Just
because he had like 85 sellouts at Madison Square Garden.
Okay, fair enough. And I don't want to do Undertaker. I don't really want to do Vince McMahon. We already did Roddy Piper. I guess we already technically did.
We did. So, I mean, we didn't specifically do these guys, but this was all out of their matches.
Yeah, Kurt Angle, I guess. Sergeant Slaughter. Nah, Kurt Angle.
Oh, here, let me go. If there's any one lower, I'll go to 25 because some of these guys have to be rearranged.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm okay with the ones you've picked.
Okay. Yep. So
cool.
That's what we're gonna keep doing.
Next is Mick Foley. I think we watched a lot of Mick Foley, but that was for WCW.
WCW, and then he's been involved in a lot of other guys. Like he's really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be biased in this next.
I know. That's okay, Yolanda.
There's personal bias.
Exactly. On this show, you don't have to be impartial. Cool.
So that was what we. So is Shawn Michaels in his second half? Is he a sexy boy?
Yeah.
He is still.
I think he looks better. A little bit older too.
Oh, okay.
He's always got a nice body. I never liked the mullet. Was a little too.
Even
crazy.
when he gets the 2008, kind of starts getting the bald spot and the
lazy
so much,
eye. But like the 2002 Shawn Michaels was pretty good.
We're in that Philippians 412. Sure, or whatever it is.
Yeah, he had some very odd ring gear.
Yeah, and we didn't.
He was a sexy boy.
We didn't even go into the brown the poop pants to Survivor Series 2002.
Well, I'll have to Google that.
Yeah, it was not a good color choice.
Let me see.
It was like his normal tights, but it looked like brown poop, like.
Survivor.
And he also had a bad bob cut. Survivor Series 2002, Shawn Michaels. I'm sure it'll.
This good.
Yeah.
But they don't look it.
Yeah, like there, it's kind of.
They're brown, but like the way you were talking about it, I think it like he looked like he was going for like a proto Leonardo DiCaprio or something. Yeah.
Yeah, the haircut was an odd choice.
Not the best look, but no, he's
still a sexy boy. He's not your boy toy.
My sexy boy.
Yeah, he's your sexy boy.
What's his personal life? Is he married? Or?
Yeah, he married a Nitro girl. You know, the Nitro ladies who would come out and dance. He called. He was probably on pills in 1999, watching Nitro. Called Kevin Nash and asked who one of the Nitro girls want her information, and 2 weeks later they were going out, and eventually they got married, and now they have 2 kids and happily.
He's good. He's straight and narrow now.
Straight and narrow, and he's we'll not get into the whole management shuffling of the WWF, but he was kept in NXT even after Triple H was forced out.
Really?
But Triple H is back now.
Oh, okay.
Because
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
Interesting.
Yep.
Cool. No, I like Shawn Michaels. I've enjoyed these watches.
Yeah, I think this was a good slew of matches.
Good use of our summertime.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Well, we'll be back next week. Have a nice month.
Oh, next month.
Yes. Have a nice month. Bang bang. I'll have mercy. We're coming with Mick Foley.
Oh, I also want to say that we were out on the town last Saturday and you were wearing an NWO shirt.
Yes.
And everyone thought you were the belle of the ball.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was the Wolfpack. You don't turn your back on the Wolfpack.
Yeah, but that's reference is what, 25 years old?
Yeah. People got it still.
They sure did. All the old 30-somethings in Roscoe Village really appreciated it.
Exactly.
So, all right, everyone. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the look that drives a girl wild. I've got the move that really move 'em. I said chill up and down their spine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I make them hot. shiver, their knees get weak. Whenever I'm around, they see me walk, they hear me talk. I make them feel like they're on cloud nine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Ain't your heart out, girls? Hands off the merchandise. Just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I make them hot. I make them shiver. Their knees get weak. Whenever I'm around, they see me walk. They hear me talk. I make them feel like they're on cloud nine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. It's your heart out, girls. Hands off the merchandise. Just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy.